Welcome back to Starting Lineup. The UAAP Volleyball Opening Weekend brought us a ton of fresh faces and great games. So here to talk about all of that are our fresh faces, our new homegrown UAAP analysts, Maji Mangulabnan, Max Juangco, and Nica Celis.
Welcome to the team. We're so happy. Our family is growing.
It's nice to see a lot of new faces here on the studio. I'll start off with Maji. Maji, UP is looking for a breakout season this year. They stumbled in one set against UE, but so far, ano yung initial assessment mo sa kanila?
Oh, wow. They have this caliber players and also the team. Grabe, 4 of these players are in double digits last game. And the win against UE was really dominating, yet nakuhanan sila ng isang set. Pero Olango, Itang, Haboneta, of course, Dongalio, as expected, magpo-provide for UP. You know? This is a good problem for Coach Fabio kasi kahit sino talagang ipasok mo, magko-convert into points. So, kung ako yung setter nila, kahit pumikit ako, grabe, alam ko kung sino yung bibigyan ko. And, you know, this is going to be a problem for the other teams kasi you don't know who to scout. So, talagang yung composition ng team nila mataas, even those coming off the bench.
Neil, pwede ba kumuha ng inside information?
Pwede.
Pwede ba? Pwede ba gumamit ng konting ano?
Nandito na
Nandito na di ba? So, Nica, okay. Anong masasabi mo sa amin going into this year from what you saw on your last year? And syempre, alam mo naman yung team, yung composition, the way the coaching was, and the training. What excited you about that team?
For me, I feel like they're complete eh. Like, you don't really need to go far or like stress out too much na parang kailangan namin ng ganitong player, kailangan ng ganito. Kasi parang ang daming new additions sa team. So, may mga umalis, pero madaming mga magandang additions sa team. So, tama nga sabi ni ate na parang problema na ni Fabio, how will you rotate those players? Kasi everyone you put in the court will contribute. So that's a very exciting part for the team right now.
Sorry, Maji, ate ka na ngayon. Ate ka na ngayon.
And that's crucial, like player rotations in the UAAP, napaka-importante yan. Time to move on to one of the other teams. Max, you wanted to talk about Adamson. So they've had 2 games so far, a dominating win against Ateneo, and then they lost to NU in straight sets as well. So far, anong nakikita mo sa Adamson? Kasi magkaiba medyo extremes yung nakita natin dun sa 2 games na yun.
Well, for Adamson, I'm just happy na there's a balanced effort in the offensive output right now. Yun nga, is much more balanced. Meron tayong collective output na nangyayari. I'm just happy for Shaina Nitura na she doesn't have to carry everything on her shoulder right now. Given the additions from the UAAP Juniors Division with Abigail Segi and Luis Tudao, let's not forget about Sagaysay and Mordi na pwede nang mag-add pa sa effort ng Adamson Lady Falcons. And it's too early to tell. Marami pang chances sa pwede pang makabawi yung Adamson sa games nila. And yeah, I think this is a good lineup for them too.
Fearless Faye, as I call her, Faye Sagaysay. What were your takeaways from that loss against NU? You know, it's so entertaining to see, of course, parang si Nitura to do all of the stuff that she's doing, but yun nga, parang mas may konting balance ang gustong ma-achieve ni Coach JP this year, ano? But yung loss against NU, anong nakita mo na pwede pa nilang ayusin in the future
For that
games?
loss against the defending champions, Lady Bulldogs, I think they lacked in the reception part. That's why Faye Sagaysay had a hard time distributing the ball, especially kay Dote, their middle blockers, and Tudao. So they have to rely on their wingers, Mordi, Shaina, and Segi. And with that out of systems, it's easier for the opponents to read kapag ganon eh.
Yeah, kailangan din talaga bawasan ng Adamson yung unforced errors nila. I think they tallied 28 in that loss against NU, and that really hurt their cause. Nica, you wanted to talk about UE. There are teams that are heavy favorites coming into Season 88, but there are also teams na hindi mo pwedeng i-underestimate. And UE has challenged Final Four contenders in the first 2 games.
Yes, I have to mention Bea Zumudia kasi I was present during that game and grabbing intensity. Of course, you can't forget about Cepada. Automatic na yan. For me, when you look at Cepada, of course, Nogales, the one who recently just exited. Pero iba yung energy na nadadala kasi nila. And even, especially their libero that time, grabe yung pahirap, ang hirap lapagan. Pero I feel like they're the teams that you just can't ignore. Everyone's rooting for the winners.
That's right.
Pero what about the underdogs? During that game, Moa was roaring whenever they would score. And you can really see na they're really fighting. So it's really exciting to see them.
Obviously, maraming nawala rin sa kanilang players. What will it take for them to maybe pull off an upset here and there sa UAAP?
Kasi I see UE somewhat similar to circumstances with UP na restarting again. So ang daming changes. I feel
And
like,
you've been a part of it, so alam mo na yung pakiramdam.
So I feel like it's good that you can see the grit and the fight with the players, but I feel like they really need to have that consistent system. Kasi the players want it. And for their team to completely rise talaga, kailangan maging consistent sila with the system, with the coaches and everything. So I don't think there's much problem. I feel like right now they're in a good path. Maybe they need to fix more of their defense, but overall they're putting up a good fight.
You also have to talk about the current top teams
Of
in the
course.
win-loss rankings. NU is currently thriving and LaSalle is definitely a threat. Maji, your thoughts on these two teams after their opening games?
Oh, these are the teams that really fight in the championships, right? So talagang hindi natin sila pwede underestimate with the rising super rookie with NU as well as Shevana stepping up as a team captain. Grabe yung fight na binibigay talaga nila. And you know, kahit yung mga scores is malalayo, you can see the character. They don't lay low. Talagang you can see also the respect to their opponents. I think that's one of the most important thing na makita natin in this sport. Kasi we don't underestimate anyone right now.
Correct.
Kasi volleyball is really evolving. Everyone wants to be on top. So, NU and DLSU, I think malaki yung chance na parang sila pa rin yung nasa taas.
Early favorites,
yes. But then, how will they maintain na nandoon sila sa taas?
Okay, just before we take a break, Max, give me one strength of DLSU and one strength so far na nakikita mo na hindi individual from National University.
For National University, I have to go this time with Pono. I think everybody's
the separate,
surprised,
okay.
not just the fans, but also their opponents, na Pono started playing for NU Lady Bulldogs in the opening week. And I think it's also a good, strategy for Coach Reg to put Pono in terms of scouting kasi Lamina, inaabangan na siya ng teams eh.
Right.
And it's also the best time to commend Pono na they went up against UST, which has a massive crowd, by the way. And then she stood up for her team. Binigyan ng 2 panalo yung team. So, yeah, I think Coach Raj also mentioned na in an interview na there's not really much of an option, I mean, reason kung bakit si Pono yung nandyan. It's just because mainly of the blocking, so additional height for the NU Lady Bulldogs.
Right, they're off to a good start. LaSalle's off to a good start. Shivana Laput's also off to a good start. We'll talk more individual this time in the UAP when we come back after a short break.